Welcome back, guys, to day 2 of the series where we try and find the most broken, most overpowered, most dominant tanks of each class. We're here on the World of Tanks replay site, and we're going to look at Tier 9. Yesterday we looked at Tier 9 light tanks, and we featured a couple of great games. We're going to look at Tier 9. We're going to do we did light tanks yesterday. We're going to do medium tanks today. Let's click this medium tank. We're going to sort all the replays that people have submitted in patch 1.91 in medium tanks. And we're going to see which tanks have the most dominant results. We can sort them here any way we like. Damage, assist, experience. Come on. Damage. That's what we want to sort it on. Who got the most damage? Well, look at this. The new reward tank, the Kellerman Panzer 50T. Top. Leopard prototype, second most damage game. E50, third highest damage game of this patch so far. T55A, a lot of German tanks. Leopard prototype. Type 61, Leopard prototype. Type 61 next, Leopard prototype, and T50, one lowly Russian tank at the bottom. So those results, 4 of the top 10 results, Leopard prototype. 2 for the Type 61. We're going to watch these 2 games, the Kellerman Panzer 50T and the Leopard prototype games. But guys, let's also sort on blocked damage blocked by armor, and you will be surprised at the results here. Look at this. When we did it for Tier 10, it was dominated by the Object 430U, but now look at this. Is Centurion 7-1, the most damage block game. Centurion 7-1, UDES 15, Centurion 7-1, Kellerman Panzer. UDES 16, T55A, Centurion 7-1, T54, and E50. Quite a few Centurion 7-1s in the top most block damage games. We're going to watch this game. We're going to watch 3 games. Let's see how he did it. It doesn't seem broken, does it? There's an assortment of tanks in the top 10 for each category. One thing I will say is that the Leopard prototype was fairly 4 out of the top 10 of the highest damage games, dominated by German tanks. There was only 2 Type 61s and 1 T54. 7 of the top 10 damage games for Tier 9 medium tanks were German. The top being, of course, the new, overpowered, reward tank, which is the best. I played this tank a couple of games in my sheriff's account. I did not get it. This is a reward tank that you get for completing the ranked battles, and in NA we only had 2 seasons of ranked battles, and I missed 1 season. I missed out on getting this. So of course the best players that finished the ranked battles seasons and did well enough to win this, the best players in the game get the best tank. It's basically a typical German tank, fantastic concealment, view range, mobility, very, very accurate gun. But it gets armor too, because it's a reward. So you have not as much alpha as the Leopard prototype, but a fast-firing, laser-accurate German gun, but you get an amazing turret as well. So you can do things like this. Now, I'm watching these replays live with you, so I don't know what's going to happen. Let's enjoy them, and I'm going to do my best to do the commentary here. And I knew he'd hit that shot. I've played this thing. It's ridiculous. It's the gun handling on this thing is utterly ridiculous. When I played it a couple times in my sheriff's account, I immediately said, okay, this thing's broken, it's overpowered. You're going to see some amazing games in this thing. You just can't miss. You just can't miss, guys. It's all about the soft stats, okay? It's all about soft stats. And there you go. It's all about soft stats. And the reason I believe we saw 4 Leopard prototype games in the top 10 damage games, before the Leopards, the prototype, and the Tier 10 Leopard were buffed, quote-unquote buffed, they were nowhere to be found in those top results. The odd Leopard game where, you know, you get to sit concealed in a bush and you're lucky. But now they dominate. The Leopard prototype is a dominant tank at Tier 9 now as a damage dealer. Why? The simple fact that, well, they did increase the alpha of the gun a little bit, but I don't think that's the main reason. The main reason is just simply the soft stats. Can he actually... oh, he showed a little bit too much of his hull there. If he just stays hull down and shows his turret, there's nothing these guys can do versus him. Even his upper plate is angled and much more armor on this than the regular Leopards. This is like a way better E50. Yeah, visibility. I don't think he's missed a shot yet. But let's get back to what I was saying. It's just little tweaks to the soft stats, and that's how small manipulations in this game can just make or break a tank. It used to be that the Leopard prototype, the gun would just troll you. If your turret was moving, if your tank was moving, there was a penalty. The penalties that all tanks get for turret rotation, tank traverse, and movement were so horrible that the only way you could hit a shot in your Leopard prototype is if you sat still and did not move your turret and fully aimed your shot. Otherwise, you'd miss. And they didn't change the accuracy. It's just that the penalties, the bloom of your aim circle while your tank is moving, the tank is traversing, or your turret is moving. The second little thing they tweaked was the sigma of the gun. And that's just how often, when you fully aim your shot, and I'm not talking about penalties now, when your shot is fully aimed, how often will that shot go in directly in the middle on the aim dot that you've, like the dot right there? Is it going to go in the dot? Of course. Or how often will it deviate to somewhere within the circle? That's the sigma, the function that that governs how much dispersion there is within your fully aimed shot. Will the shot go exactly on the dot or to the edge of the circle? And when you're fighting at range, that's important. Doesn't matter if you have an accurate gun. Doesn't matter if you're aiming a KV2 gun that has 0.6 accuracy. If the shot hits the dot, when you fully aim, if the shot goes at the dot, like that, you're going to hit. But if it deviates to the edge, you're probably going to miss. They fiddled with that a little bit with the Leopard, and now all of a sudden it's dominant. It used to be one of the worst tanks in Tier 9, now it's one of the best. Simple little tweaks. The main one, I think, being the Sigma. And I have tanks that have amazing, you look at the statistics and the accuracy and everything, snap it there. And I can't hit anything, because every time I fully aim, the shot goes to the edge of the circle. But you look at the stats and say, well, this tank's got 0.28 accuracy, and it's you ever fire a Grillet gun? Maybe one day they'll buff the Grillet. But let's just enjoy this game. This is Beryllium Angel. Beryllium Angel. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, buddy, but you are just dominating in this thing, and I knew you would. I mean, this is the top damage result submitted on World of Tank replays in a medium tank for this patch. And he can just... I've been rambling a little bit here, guys. Has he missed a shot yet? Look at the... As he's moving his tank around, the aim circle, there is no bloom. There is no soft stat penalty on this tank, I guess. Like, look, he just... It barely... He's moving the turret around and moving the tank. He's already, like, he can't miss. The circle is so small, even at that range, even if it does deviate to the edge of the circle, you've covered the whole tank. It's just, there is no bloom. There is no penalty for moving or turret traverse or hull traverse on this tank. I guess the soft stats are, it's a reward tank. You'll hit every shot. That's the soft stat. There you go. He's moving his tank back and forth. Look, that. He aims in like, I don't care what the statistics say, what it says in the garage. I'm just watching what's happening, guys. Like, he's moving hull, he's traversing his turret. Watch, he's fully moving here. Now let's see how long it takes him to aim. Shot over there. And the armor's hit. There is no penalty. The shots, the Sigma is 100%, I guess. Why not give the, there you go, get another one. Why not give the most overpowered, just program the game so that the best players have the best tank, and that'll make it so much more fun for everyone else. I guess that's the strategy, guys. Yeah. It's nothing new. I don't think he's missed a shot all game. Wow. Okay. Let's just take. Oh! Just as I said, the shot hit the dirt. Oh, let's put a ticket in. I think this tank needs to be wargaming. What are you doing giving crappy tanks as rewards? Just He missed one shot that I've kept track of. Maybe he's missed a couple others while I was rambling. But, yeah, it's got an amazing gun. It's got actual armor, so you can bounce things off your turret. You basically don't have to aim. There's no surprise that it's the top result. And as more and more of the best players play this thing, I think it'll dominate the results. Luckily, there aren't a lot of them out there, guys. But if you see one on the enemy team, look out. Let's see this. Look at all the... He got steel wall and high caliber and tyke sniper in a medium tank. He did over 10,000 damage. 10,233 damage. Let's see. He took 40 shots. He hit 39. Yeah. Okay. Soft stats. Sigma. It's all about the Sigma. Okay. But now, let's get back to reality. Tanks that the regular schmoes can get, like people like you and me. We can get ourselves a Leopard prototype. And the Leopard prototype had 4 of the top 10 results. 4 of the top 10 highest damage results. Master of Steel is playing the Leopard prototype. And I've got one, and I played it before it was buffed, and I couldn't hit anything. Couldn't hit anything. 2 out of 4 shots, I'd get trolled. And now it's a pleasure to play. And that's just... They didn't change the accuracy. They did fiddle with the soft stats. But even before, when I was fully aimed, so there was no penalty. You know, I wasn't traversing my turret. I wasn't moving my hull. I wasn't moving my... traversing my tank. When I was sitting perfectly still in a bush, fully aimed, my shot still would like hit the dirt 2 out of 4 times. That's the Sigma. That's not the soft stats or the accuracy. That's just how often will your shot deviate from that center aim dot to the edge of the circle. And it just trolled me, and I had a love-hate relationship with this tank. And now they've just fiddled with that a little bit. Well, actually, he just missed that shot. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? You're supposed to prove my point here. How did he miss that shot? I don't know. But it used to troll me, seriously, oh, he didn't. He hit him, but he didn't penetrate. It used to troll me 2 out of 4 shots. Seriously, 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4 shots. And now you can have games where, if you fully aim, now if you're waving your turret around like a muppet and floundering around like an idiot, yeah, you're gonna miss shot. Because you notice how much more bloom he has on this gun than the game we just saw. Are you noticing that? That Kanonen Panzer 50T is just simply broken. He's moving around left, right, forward, back, waving the turret around, and his aim circle is tiny. Meanwhile, this Leopard is just slightly moving, and this tank he's aiming at is not very far away. Like he's just and the bloom, you see that? It does aim quickly, but there's way more bloom. So the soft stat penalties on this are way bigger. I don't care what the numbers say, guys. You can look them up and contradict me in the comments. I don't care when you look up the numbers. The numbers are all smoke and mirrors. The actual penalty, when you look at the bloom and what's happening here, this is a lot worse than the Kanonen Panzer 50T. But when he is fully aimed, more often than not now, the shot goes exactly exactly on his aim dot. And that's why the Leopard prototype is good now. Because you see that? His shot is going where he aims. Now, if the shots start deviating to the edge of the circle, he's going to hit the tracks, he's going to miss, it's going to hit the dirt, and he's going to be trolled, and he's going to go... A little tweak to the Sigma function, and this becomes a troll tank that sucks. But they tweaked the little Sigma function, and now it's one of the dominant Tier 9 tanks. Who'd have thought that a German... Enjoy it while you can, guys, because my prediction, this is the no bullshit channel, as the results, you know, as it becomes apparent, whoa, the Leopard prototype seems to be dominating in damage at Tier 9 for quite some time now. There's some real pushback on the Russian server about the T-54 is just not dominant anymore. It only placed 1 out of the top 10. It was 10th. You know, there'll be some tweaks. Trust me. There might not be a nerf. There might not be a nerf, but all of a sudden, oh, my shots seem to be deviating a little bit more. I wonder if the Sigma function's been fiddled with. Anyone own a Scorpion G? Anyone kept track of how many shots hit the center dot when the Scorpion G was for sale and it first came out 4, 5, 6 years ago? You play your Scorpion G now, how many of your shots go exactly where you aim? That's a topic for another video. But hey, this guy is dominating here, and they're losing the game. He's racking up the damage. Let's concentrate on what we're talking about here. He's at 4,429 damage. And nice shot. Now, when the guns when the gun behaves the way it's behaving now, it's a pleasure to play this tank. And in my opinion, that shot he missed. In my opinion, when you have a platform like this, that's you've got no armor, you're made of ammo racks. In fact, a lot of people play it with 2 repair kits, a small and a big one, because almost every hit you take, you're ammo racked. And if you're ammo racked and you use your repair kit, and then they shoot you again and you're ammo racked, then they shoot you again and your turret flies off and explodes. It's when you don't have anything else, it's not that much faster than most other medium tanks. All the medium tier 9 medium tanks are about the same speed, plus or minus, just a little bit. It doesn't have much more view range. It doesn't have more concealment. In fact, I think it has less concealment than, say, the T-54 or whatever. Snap! It doesn't have anything that's that much better than most of the other tier 9 mediums. In fact, it has a huge disadvantage in that it has no armor and it takes ammo rack damage all the time. That's a huge disadvantage. So really all it has is a gun. It's a mobile gun platform. And when the gun wasn't working, when the gun was trolling you, it was just so frustrating. So at least now, and see, he's been trolled a couple of times in this game, more than the Kellerman Panzer 50T. Well, that's a reward tank for the best players. They can't get trolled. When all you have is the gun, and the gun doesn't work, it's just it's a piece of shit, frustrating, rage-inducing machine. But now at least now, you have I'd call it a semi-reliable gun. Fairly reliable. Let's rephrase that. Let's not be too critical. It has one of the best reliable guns at tier 9 now. And that's why it's dominating. That's why it has so many in the top 10 results of most damage. Because there's probably example after example where the gun is just behaving, and it's more likely to behave because they tweak the Sigma and they tweak the soft stats. And now it's doing what a Leopard should do, and that is punish people. Oh, he's moving in close here now. He's no longer sniping. Let's see what happens here. He's actually going to take a hit. So I'm watching these live with you guys. Like, he's got the... Oh, this guy doesn't want to shoot back. Oh, surprise, he's ammo racked. You're lucky it didn't explode, and he's repaired. Now, this guy he's fighting seems like a muppet. He's only shot him once. It took him 15 seconds to shoot him the first time. A good player would have hit you twice, and you would be ammo racked again. He would be playing the rest of this game ammo racked. If he encountered a good player, if whoever the artillery didn't take that guy out, he would have been hit again. He would be ammo racked again, and he would be playing the rest of this game ammo racked. That's how unforgiving this tank is, and that's why I think it's good. It has a completely opposite playstyle to the T-54, say. Or wait a minute, we just checked the most damage blocked. I'm saying T-54, but the most damage blocked was dominated by the Centurion 7-1. We're going to watch that game. We'll see the difference. But I guess what I'm saying is I think it's good that this tank has a completely different playstyle than the other. They're not all the same. We're going to see how the Centurion 7-1 blocked all that damage. We know that like the T-54 and the T-54, the Russian one, is more of a brawler and has got a good turret. And you can face hug people, and would have done a lot better than the Leopard prototype 1v1ing that heavy tank at close range. So it's good. The tanks are they've got different weaknesses and strengths. And in the top 10, we saw a 50T, Kellerman Panzer 50T. The Leopard prototype had 4 of the results. The E-50 was in there. The T-55A, another reward tank, was in there. The Type 61 was in there twice. And the T-54. So that means there's a lot of tanks in there. That means that I guess it's pretty balanced. There's not one tank that's completely dominating, although the Leopard prototype did have 4 out of the 10. But I'd have to say there's no completely broken tier 9. Well, I did say that the Cannon and Panzer 50T is broken, but there's not a lot of them. Not everyone can get one, so there's not going to be 3 of them in every game. Oops. You missed her. Chase this guy down and shoot him up the ass, baby. Yeah, the Cannon and Panzer 50T is broken, but there's very few of them, so we're not going to be, it's not going to break the game. But when we did this analysis for tier 10s, when we looked at the most damage blocked by armor for tier 10 mediums, I think almost every result was a Object 430U. And then we looked at the most damage, and almost the Object 430U was in there as well. Right? There was a lot of Leopards, there was more of a variation, but at tier 10, the Object 430U dominated the results in every category, and it's clearly broken. At tier 9, it seems like there's a lot more balance, and there's a variety. The Leopard is obviously a great sniper now. The Centurion, I know what's going to happen in that Centurion game because I know the map. It's a hull-down beast. Oh, he snapped that shot. The game let him hit that. Well done. Each tank is going to have a different strength. And can he take this guy out? They killed your driver. Oh, I'm surprised you're not ammo racked. He only had 2 close encounters with other tanks, and he is almost dead. That's how this tank works. Oh, is he going to die? He's stunned. And now look what he's doing. He's pinging. Oh, this is interesting. He just got hit from the left, and he's pinging right. You cheeky, cheeky little guy. Master of Steel. I think he knows the artillery hit him from the left side, but he's pinged the right to make his teammate go right so that he can get the kill on the artillery. Oh, you cheeky little sneaky bugger. Did you guys see that? He got hit by artillery. The arrow tells him the shot came from here, so he pings. Well done, well done. Okay, buddy. Well done. That's, you know, it's like something I would do. Because he's having, well, come on. He's having the game of his life. He's 9,000 damage. He wants more. Well done. Shout out to you. You played it perfectly. It was amazing watching this Leopard. I'm so glad the Leopard is actually relevant. And now he's going to get this. He's going to get the kill. He's got HE loaded. Is it going to troll him? He's going to aim it carefully. No, it's not going to troll him. Beautiful. Almost 10,000 damage. Not quite. Look at these medals. Beautiful. And he ended up with 9,530 damage. How many shots did he shoot and how many did he miss compared to the Cannon and Panzer? He took 33 shots and hit 29. Still pretty good. Not up to snuff with the Cannon and Panzer 50T. All right, last game. This is Ned. Hey, Ned. Ned is going to show us how to play the tank that bounces consistently the most damage as a tier 9 medium. And it's surprising that it's the Centurion 7-1. Is it surprising? I don't think it's surprising. I think that what this is telling me, what the results are telling us, is that there is no broken tier 9 tank for any category. There's no T-54 dominating. It doesn't have troll armor like the Object 430U. There's no super dominant tank. But what it's telling us is that in the right situation, with the right map, if you own a Centurion 7-1 and you get a map like this, there's only one place to go, and that's it. That is where you can use your gun depression and your turret. Because this thing does have a great turret, and it's got to go hull down. It doesn't have armor on the sides or the rear or even the front, really. It just the turret, and it's a pancake flat turret. And I guess it helps if you're top tier, and it helps if there's no artillery. So there you go. It's Christmas Day for you. You're top tier. There's no artillery. And if you ever get in, this is what this is telling you. If you own a Centurion 7-1 and you're top tier and you have no artillery, and there's a map that has topography and undulations, if you camp at the back and snipe, you're a moron. This is your chance to be a star. And what you do is you immediately move to a position where you can get hull down and use your strength. He's not going to get shit on by artillery. He's not going to get overrun by tier 10s. He's moved way up here. Way to go. He realizes the strength of his tank, and now let's see how he bounces all these shots. Now he's just poked. You do have a very good gun as well. He's got here before the enemies, and now the enemies are going to try and shoot. I know what's going to happen, obviously, here. He's going to keep shooting. He's going to keep backing up, so he's completely hulled down, and all they see is the sliver top of his turret. They do not see his hull. And this is going to be a textbook example, I think. These guys are just going to sit there and bounce his turret over and over again. See? And he didn't shoot. You know what he's doing that's also really smart here? Is he's not zooming out and zooming in and waving his mouse around like an idiot. I noticed that a lot on replays that are sent to me. Yeah, they just hit his gun. He's very carefully just pointing at the enemy, and he's in sniper mode or very close to sniper mode, because he knows as soon as his gun sights poke over the hill like that, he knows that all they can see is his turret. If he's zoomed out and looking left, looking right, and not locking his turret, do you guys do that? Like if you're in this situation, you want to go see what's happening on the right side, you zoom out and you look to the right, well then your turret turns right, and then they shoot you and they pen you in the side of your turret. You've got to be very careful not to do that. Or if you want to zoom out and look right, press the right mouse button so that you lock your turret facing forward. And he's locked his turret facing forward like this, and there's not a hope for those guys to pen him. He's going to just keep taking these shots. Look at that. He's just bouncing like a boss. Well, we knew he was, but there you go. This is textbook. Well played, Ned. He is showing us... Oh, you just got trolled by Hesh there, I think. Yeah, load the Hesh. So shoot the low armored target. It'll do more damage. Yeah, right. What is this guy, AFK? Hey, that guy must be AFK. Well, you never know. That might be how he plays. But this is just textbook example. He is just... Oh, that's the game telling him, you're doing too well. You need to spend some more credits, so we'll make that shot disappear. Come on. Put it right in there. Ah, no, the game wants you to spend more credits because you're dominating too much in your British tank. This is a Russian game, after all. This is textbook, guys. Oh, there's a tank with 2 guns. It is absolutely perfect textbook. Just watch what's happening here and learn. He's not over poking. And you bounce. Oh, what do I mean by over poking? If he moves forward even about 10, 15 feet, they'll see his hull, and then they'll all pen him easily. So it's not that this tank has overpowered armor. It's that this tank requires skill to play. And he bounced one. That guy's AFK, right? Is he? Come on, take him out. Let's make this shot count. Can you put it through there? I'm not sure where you're aiming. Oh, the game wanted that shot to go through the enemy as well. So this tank requires skill. In the right circumstances, with the right map, no artillery, you're gonna die. If you got to know what you're doing, though, is what I'm saying. You cannot do this if you don't know what you're doing. Oh, that guy's not AFK. He's actually moving. A regular schmo that does not understand this game will drive to the same position this guy's in. He'll move forward just a little bit farther. You know, like during that, what we've witnessed so far. If you were just move up an extra 10 feet, the enemies would see his hull. They'd press 2, they'd shoot his hull, and he'd be dead. And be going, the Centurion sucks. I hate the Centurion. What we're witnessing here is an expert playing the Centurion. An expert at the Centurion. I don't know if he's a great player or not, but he's playing the Centurion just perfectly, just absolutely perfectly. This is a textbook example of how you have to work with the strength of your tank. Thank you so much, Ned775, for showing us how to do this. And this is not going to happen in, you know, if he gets Himmelsdorf or Ensk. Then he would have to rely on parking his tank behind rubble, protecting the hull, and only showing his turret. But it's much, much more difficult because what he's doing now is they're shooting up at him. They're just seeing the sliver of his turret, and they're hitting it at an angle, and he's just dominating now. He's just single-handedly won this game. Beautiful, beautiful example. Even a British tank can do it, baby, when the situation is right. All right, so we saw the what I consider a broken Kanonen Panzer 50T because the best players need to have a broken reward so that they'll keep playing the game. The Leopard prototype, which is fairly dominant at tier 9 because it's been buffed, and the Sigma's pretty good now. And the Centurion 7-1, which is a hull down beast, but I think kind of requires the right map, and you got to know what you're doing. Thanks so much, guys. We're gonna look at heavy tanks tomorrow, and look at the results and watch those games. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and support the channel. And tune in tomorrow. Yesterday we looked at light tanks. Tomorrow we're going to look at heavy. We're going to do TDs and SPGs. Well done, Ned. How did you do there? Incredible. You didn't ace it, but I'd say you carried that game. Look at that. He's got the steel wall medal. He did almost 5,000 damage with 4 kills. And how much damage did he block? He blocked 5,820. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. All three of you guys, fantastic games. Thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you again tomorrow when we'll look at the heavy tanks.